time starts to kind of come together a little more.
Yeah, this Aethergust's obviously going to do a good job of keeping Igor Kerim, you know, a little more alive, but there's a spell pierce, alright, sure. Pay for it, I guess.
Easy deal.
Okay, I still have enough mana to pay for the spell pierce. What are you doing, man? I mean, yeah, sure, you get the prowess triggers, but like, what's the plan here? Oh.
There it is.
A mystical dispute as well.
Functional. Yeah, functional spell pierce enough to get in for Xaxes.
Settle the wreckage.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh my god! A 100-card historic brawl. Settle the wreckage in hand after I called it.
Riley, here we go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained here. Seasoned Pyromancer can let you ditch your hand in this case to draw 2 cards, and we need exactly 2. We need Bone Crusher Giant and an untapped red source.
Need the Bone Crusher Giant with Stomp, which stops the 9 lives from preventing damage, and we need the red source to cast the Stomp, Dennis. And wouldn't you know
there it is!
Look at that! I've always maintained, Dennis, I've always maintained that Magic is a very skill-testing game indeed, and Charizard James is showing us just how skill-based this game is, ripping the actual perfect 2 off the top here, and is going to win the game on the spot because of it.
Yo, what's up, Titan Smash? Oh no!
If this was the only way Tybalt's Trickery had ever been used, Riley, I think it would have been balanced the way Wizards intended it.
I think this is actually Magic as R&D intended. Tybalt's Trickery. Getting rid of an eye twitch? Why are you scared of an eye twitch? Now you have to deal with the lolth. What was that?
I'm terrified of an eye twitch, dude. Like, if only it had been something like a lolth, you know?
Raise the alarm. We found their win con. We didn't know what it was, and now we know. I've now found their win con. I don't like it. You fool didn't play around Triple Tithe. Listen. My opponent had Sky Tether main deck and then boarded out of all the bad cards and boarded in good cards like Memory Lapse and Teferi. How am I supposed to win if I know that? Their tempo play of 2 soldiers are going to win them the game. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. It hurts. I can't look. I can't look. Ow. Man, Valkmir is a problem.
Nope.
Oh no. Wait, what just happened? Why was this 5 mana? Oh no. It came in tap.
Oh no! It came in tap.
Oh my god! Did we do it?
Yes! I attack!
Holy shit!
I attack! I attack! I attack!
Everyone's clenching right now.
No! Oh, he lost! He lost!
I attacked! No! No! What?
Oh, he lost! Oh no! Oh man!
Riley, does your opponent ever make a play that doesn't seem to make sense on the surface, but then over time starts to kind of come together a little more?
Yeah, this Aethergust's obviously going to do a good job of keeping Igor Kerim, you know, a little more alive, but there's a spell pierce, alright, sure. Pay for it, I guess.
Easy deal.
Okay, I still have enough mana to pay for the spell pierce. What are you doing, man? I mean, yeah, sure, you get the prowess triggers, but like, what's the plan here? Oh.
There it is.
A mystical dispute as well.
Functional. Yeah, functional spell pierce enough to get in for Xaxes.
Settle the wreckage.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh my god! 100-card historic brawl. Settle the wreckage in hand after I called it.
Riley, here we go. Nothing ventured, nothing gained here. Seasoned Pyromancer can let you ditch your hand in this case to draw 2 cards. And we need exactly 2. We need Bone Crusher Giant and an untapped red source.
Need the Bone Crusher Giant with Stomp, which stops the 9 lives from preventing damage.
What is up, my friends? Today, we are playing in the DEGEN Open. We're playing MARDU Midrange in Standard. Now, it's about to start, so we're going to put you over to coverage with MTG Nerd Girl. She's going to be with a newly acquired DEGEN gaming creator, Brad Nelson, named FF Freak on Twitch. And CovertGoBlue will be doing coverage with them as well. It'll be MTG Nerd Girl, CovertGoBlue, Brad Nelson, and Airball. And we're going to be watching them in between our rounds. So let's go ahead and get over to their stream and talk about things and whatever, and talk about our deck and stuff that we want to play until the tournament starts, until round 1 starts. So we have Zek as first in chat. What is up? How's it going? Hopefully you Patreon patrons are liking the new method of our YouTube videos. So if you're a Patreon patron, let me know in the chat if you like that better or that it was last time. Let me know. Stream's currently dead, HD. Broadcast on Nerd Girl. Yes, we are there right now. But it's dead? Offline. Oh. Okay. Hearsay, what's up? Jub, what's up? How's it going? You never try it. I could many times with the stream on before it starts, but let someone chat first. Oh, true. No, you're awesome. Well, while we're figuring this out, I'll go ahead and do our sponsor shout out if we can get that clipped. I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of this stream before we get started. Number 1 is Ultra Pro, the standard in safe storage. They just came out with a new green package, which is awesome. You should get it. You can use DEGEN. You can support DEGEN by clicking the link down below. Also, 5% off of Alter Sleeves by using code DEGEN at checkout. And speaking of 5%, you can get 5% off of literally anything in the store at CoolStuffInc.com. You can use code James5 or DEGEN5 at checkout. Also, you can battle against your friends for money at TCG Showdown, which we will be showing off later on this week, no pun intended. And you can also support us by getting some energy drinks from Rogue Energy, 20% off by using code James5 or DEGEN in the link. So thanks for that. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and see what's up with the tournament here to see if we can get some things started. But for now, let's go ahead and go over to Arena and show you what deck we're playing. We are still offline on Nerd Girl's side, so let's show you what deck we're playing here. We are playing MARDU Midrange, and I'm going to go ahead and do this thing here, where we show off the deck. Now, this is an aggressively slanted mid-range deck with a lot of creatures in it, but it's also very, very interactive. And this is almost the exact same deck I played in the last one, in which I got top 8 of the tournament, which was pretty cool. So we're going to try to get another top 8 run and hopefully win our shot at the SNC Championship. So that's what we get when we're winning, if we win this, which is amazing. You better not someone bounty you? Oh, I know, right, Gask? Excited for the next Stream League. We'll have more time to practice this time. All right, sounds good. It's on May 1st, so make sure to sign up if you want to play. Anybody can sign up for this. It's an open. It'll be hosted by myself and Ali Eldrazi right here on this channel, and it is live. So you can sign up anytime between now and May 1st. It is standard. I think standard's really great right now and really wide open. You better not get paired against me. You're going to win. You'd be sad. Yikes. Oh, wait, are we live? We are live. 1 second. Let's go to MTG Nerd Girl and listen to what she has to say. Say something?
Let me get CGB back in here. That was 100% my stupid Discord's fault. I really apologize.
She looks a little stressed. Maybe it's the coffee.
So let's
Maybe she's
grab
trying a different cup of
CGB
coffee
back
today.
here. Welcome back. Sorry about that. Let me get your video feed back up there. Some early morning technical difficulties apparently, because that always makes things more fun.
I like the borders and design that they have this time much better than what it was before. He's muted.
I have been meaning to make the switch back. I just, you know, that it always seems like there is too much to do.
She might already know he's muted.
Is there a way for me to flip my camera? I'm looking away from you. That thing that always drives me nuts.
Sure, I think I can do
Thank you,
that.
Nuno.
So let's go ahead and I will also change mine as well. Okay. There you go.
Cool. Thank you.
So welcome guys to our newest DEGEN Open. This is one of our biggest events yet. We actually have a cash prize pool. We've got $10 player bounties on all of our DEGENs. So this is going to be an interesting one.
So if they defeat a DEGEN streamer, they win $10?
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
So if they $10 Ultra Pro gift card anytime you beat any one of our DEGEN streamers or sponsored Ultra Pro players, which currently I think is just the DEGENs.
Ooh, okay, let's see. I think there's like a list of bounties in here too. I thought I saw that earlier.
There is a bounties category in the Discord if you guys are interested. We've got Holy Diva, John Likes Games, the one James, Jaffer. There's a whole list of them. There is, I believe, 9 players.
LK, Hey Miss Shay, Christmas, Astral's Flame, Adamant, MTG. Nice.
Are Mar doing it today? We're Mar doing it.
Them to delay the tournament for
Oh, they're quiet?
3 to 4
Thank you.
minutes, just so I could get the coverage back up, but they will be
Is that
good to
better?
go. So real quick guys, let me just tell you about our event again, sponsored by Ultra Pro. We have a $800 prize pool in cash for our top 8. We also have gems for top 8, and we have coverage giveaways for you guys. We'll be giving away 4 Ultra Pro gift cards as well
Perfect.
as arena gems throughout the day. Each round we'll be doing a door prize for anybody who participated in the round as well. So sometimes if we're, you know, if a match runs really long, we might run 2 next time just to, you know, be safe and keep coverage moving. But there will indeed be a door prize for every single round that you participate in. Coverage prizes, bounties, Streets of New Capenna Championship invite, can't forget that. So a lot going on today.
It's a big boy Streets of New Capenna Championship invite?
It is a lot, but it's very exciting, and it's going to certainly fill a Sunday afternoon with some fun Magic competitive content that it's good to have more of this on the weekend, I think. I'd be excited to watch it if I weren't casting it.
Awesome. All right, so for those, we're going to be recording this and putting this up on the DEGEN Discord, so if you can't stick around for the whole thing, you guys can always catch up on it there. And also, for the people on the coverage side of things who watch after the fact, CGB, would you like to tell them where they could find you moving forward?
Well, you can find me on YouTube. If you search for CovertGoBlue on YouTube, my channel should be easy to find. The coverage for this tournament should be on your YouTube, if I understand correctly, right? MTG Nerd Girl YouTube?
Yep. You mean this coverage?
Yeah.
This coverage is on the DEGEN YouTube channel.
Oh, the Degenerate Gaming YouTube channel is exactly where you will find this coverage, but you might also want to check out MTG Nerd Girl's YouTube channel. There's a lot there as well.
CGB is kind of quiet. I'll bump him up a little bit. Thanks, Cool Jets. Cool Jets, are you playing today? If so, did you give us permission to cover you? If you guys are a streamer and you're participating in this event, you guys can jump into the streamer coverage channel and you'll be able to put your Melee name as well as your information for Twitch, so that way we can give you some sweet coverage if you start to do well in the tournament.
Cool Jets has given us perpetual permission to cover his matches. So from now on, whenever I don't know what I'm going to stream, I'm just going to tune in and watch his stream.
Yeah, your restreams are always very popular.
It's kind of crazy. I think I'm getting more popular for restreaming than playing.
I saw your coverage streams were doing very well. Your old coverage stuff was fun.
Yeah, throwback PT coverage is super fun. Some of those formats are like, you kind of remember where you were in life at the time when this was going on, and it's very nostalgic. It's good feels all the way. And there are a lot of people who have never seen them. So you get to explain what Gate Crash Standard was like to people who have no idea what a Boros Reckoner does, and that kind of thing is interesting.
Nice. All right, guys. So it looks like we are working on getting our pairings done. We actually have one of the larger tournaments we've had for a buy-in tournament is 195 players today.
Wow.
So
it's a lot of players.
Yeah, that's a really big deal.
195 for a buy-in is crazy.
195 trying to take home the prize. Is there a qualification with this one?
Yeah,
or
so
an event championship?
First place is the Streets of New Capenna Championship invite.
Nice. The New Capenna, I believe they said in the organized play announcement, there's still stuff coming out about digital play at the end of this month, but in the organized play announcement, they did say that New Capenna Championship is part of the road to the regional championship, which is part of the road to the PT. So there you go. Your path back to the Pro Tour when it returns could start here today.
Let's certainly hope so.
It's like a PPP, PTQ. I like that.
Yeah, there are going to be PTQs. I actually, with the big announcement, and there's a couple of limited things which I love, but they also announced that Pioneer is going to be a big part of that. So yesterday I ordered a Pioneer deck, just a baby one, but I ordered all the pieces for it, so I'm in.
Oh God, what is it? It's red, isn't it?
It's mono red.
Yeah, of course it's mono red.
I will probably not play it long term, but I like to shuffle up mono red when I'm learning a format because I don't need to learn my deck. My deck's easy to learn. And then I learn everybody else's deck, and then I will reassess and play something else.
How much for your mono red?
How much did it cost?
Yeah, how much?
I think it was like $290.
$290.
I got lucky though. I found some of the big Chandras in my bulk box. I found 3 of them, so that was nice.
My blue-white control is going to cost me $1,300.
This is mono red, and it's competitive.
This is a scam, man.
People hate on it, but it's so good.
What a scam! All right. Is it Pioneer? I thought it was the Pioneer deck. Don't forget, I buy way too much bling. Way too much.
I've been seeing your bling posts. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that is. I'm going to tell you a behind-the-scenes CovertGoBlue content secret. That's my wife taking pictures of stuff she sees in my collection that she thinks is pretty.
CovertGoGina is the content social media manager, as it turns out. We're getting an inside scoop behind the scenes here.
Yeah, 1,300 for a Pioneer deck is insane.
Pretty. Ooh, that card is cool. Bling, bling, bling. And I'm like, yep, that's I guess how Instagrams can work. You just
modern
throw them
decks
up
cost
there.
like
Here's
about
a picture,
that much.
like this. People.
Modern decks cost anywhere between like $600 and like $3,000.
Pairings up right now. Let's go ahead and snag one of the DEGENs to watch. Astrals always brings something interesting and unique to the table. So I am going to be taking a look at Astrals. Let me post a link to you, CGB.
Okay.
So I just watched from the team page, and you can just snag Astrals and pull them up. And we're also going to take a look at his list.
How are we on starting this tournament?
Oh, I see. I go on here and select. Okay, I got it.
Oh, pairings are up.
Awesome. And then we can also move down to the DEGEN Open. gameplay. Look how fancy and
Okay,
professional
so
we look,
we're gonna
guys.
start. We're gonna
This
mute
way.
this, and then we are going to do. We're gonna go on emote only, please. We're playing its Teamer Treasures. We are playing against 4 Goldspan Dragons, 4 Jaspara Sentinels, 4 Magda, 3 Prosperous Innkeeper, 2 Moonveil Regent, 2 Reckless Stormseeker, 4 Dragon's Fire, 4 Asika's Chariot, 4 Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, 4 Shatter Skull, 2 Negate, 1 Disdainful Stroke. This actually might be a really hard matchup. Like, it's hard for us to beat, like, multiple Chariots, let alone, like, also 4 Dragon's Fires. We're going to need to draw, like, a lot of Skyclave Apparitions and Elite Spellbinders. We're going to need to draw, like, 4 Skyclave Apparitions, like, every game. Alright, playing against Teamer Treasures. We have 2 Acquisitions Expert and 5 lands. I mean, opponent goes first. I mean, I like the idea of getting rid of their hand. This is a pretty bad hand. But, like, we have 2 draws until we can stop playing Acquisitions Expert, and then the 3rd draw might be a 3-drop, 2-drop, or 4-drop, and we can play that. So I think this is a keep. Alright. I'm happy about the Vanishing Verse. This can get rid of a Secret Chariot. Innkeeper. One of their better plays. Soren. Their 4-drops are Moonveil Regent, and Asika's Chariot. A little unfortunate. They got the Chariot on turn 3. One of our hardest cards for us to deal with. This is a really obvious Vanishing Verse. But there are a couple negates in the deck. I guess I should have just done this main phase. Okay, no negate. Whew. Ah. Wow. That was a great draw. It is the only meat hook in our deck. And so hopefully there's not another Chariot in hand or Moonveil Regent. Perfect. Could be Disdainful Stroke. Could be Removal Spell. In that case, I think I just run out the Acquisitions Expert, just in case it is. It's either Removal Spell or Counter Spell. Removal Spell, Disdainful Stroke. It's not Fable. It has to be Dragon's Fire. Spar Sentinel. Not what I thought. I figured the Spar Sentinel would be played out there. Surprise me. Alright, no mana up for Disdainful Stroke. Blood Chiefs. Now, Dragonfire is in the deck.
For the sake of all Innistrad, my will must be obeyed.
They guaranteed don't have Goldspan. See I'm plussing? That'll out the Goldspan.
My ways are not for the weak.
I can trump the Den. Oh wait, can we update the high emote, Nuno, to have our brand new Charmander waving high emote? Okay, I think I'm just Soren's gonna take 3 here. I don't think I want to jump block.
Fight. I'll fix that.
Legion Angel.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
I don't know what's in hand. Could be Dragon's Fire. But, like, if that was a Dragon's Fire, don't you think they would kill this Acquisitions Expert? No, but they haven't had enough mana to kill it and animate the Den. They will have enough mana to kill it and animate the Den if they have a single untapped land. Is Reckless Stormseeker. This is definitely a block with Legion Angel. Or is it a chump block? I think it's a trade. Because I have a lot more Legion Angels where that came from. Yeah, I figured it was Dragon's Fire. That's fine for me.
Let this be over.
They don't have any sweepers, so I can just jam 2 Legion Angels here. Or hold up Wandering Emperor, but I think this is better. Thank you, Nuno. Maybe just an info stroke. I need to save that for Goldspan. They literally have 4 of them in the deck. That meat hook really saved us. Okay, Braid kills Magda. Meat hook's good. But how many meat hooks do I really want? Probably not all 4. Is Duress good? Dragon's Fire, Chariot, Fable, Shatter Skull, Negate. We have a Braid, Stroke, Liberator, Reckoner, Bankbuster. Okay, a Braid's good. Broken Wings, Burning Hands, Flame Blessed, Imarith, Kessig, Tangle Trap. Imarith might be a problem. How good are my Brutal Cathars? Probably good against Reckless Stormseeker. My Graveyard Trespassers are not really that good. Well, I guess if they're bringing in removal spells, they're good against removal. What's up, Murph? This is a much better hand than last game. Discarding Goldspan is really good. They're missing their land drop? Nope. Chariot? Fable. I have Skyclave for that. And I also have Meat Hook for that. Alright. If I play Fable, I make the 2/2. Then they draw. Then I draw. Then they make their 2/2. Then I make my 2/2. Then I don't want to Meat Hook. So I think Fable's not the play. Fable has to be the play here, right? No, I don't really want them to draw. I'm not going to block with this because I can't deal with that 3/3 next turn. Goldspan? They have a big play here that's not just Chariot. It's going to be hard to stop. Acquisitions Expert getting rid of Magda and Goldspan Dragon was really strong. I'm going to have to really work up to beat that. Alright, so I have to do this. It's gonna be really hard for me to beat that Emerith. That's the one of. I have to meat hook that? I need to not die to just this Emerith. I need to draw, like, Vanishing Verse right now. They're keeping mana up. That's really frightening. Can meat hook for 4? Not enough. I need to hope they don't have negate or disdainful stroke. Unfortunately, my Fable token, not my Fable token and my Mirror Breaker are gonna die. My Kiki Jiki. And if they have, like, you know, negate or disdainful stroke on top of this, I'm gonna lose anyway. But can't really beat the Simmerith without doing the play that I've done. I'd have to hope they, like, play a big card here. If they negate or stroke, I just die. And they could have sided them in. They have 2 more disdainful strokes on the sideboard. Yep. That'll do it. Like, Duress isn't even that good. Like, it would have dealt with the negate, but in the Dragon's Fire, but it doesn't deal with anything else. I guess it also deals with Fable. Really, really good dragon there. Ah, no black mana. Only 1 land. Ah! I hate to lose like this. No black mana into 1 land. There's 17 black mana in my deck and didn't draw one. I can't keep a 1-lander on the play. Alright. Trespasser's hard for them to deal with, right? What if I put a land back? Am I gonna get punished by putting a land back? We have a 44% chance to draw land. Gotta hit that 44%. Oh, discard Imarith. That's the only Imarith in their deck. Pray for a land. That's the one Cassic Naturalist in their deck. They missed a land drop. They kept a 7-card hand and missed a land drop? Doing that, I took the Dragon's Fire just in case I draw not a red source and want to use the Hive. Crap, they drew a land. I'm not drawing good at all. Oh, please don't draw a land. Ooh. Spellbinder. If they Moonveil region, I Skyclave. We'll draw land. Crap. I keep drawing red spells. Gosh, if I had drawn just any land there, I'd be fine. But I also am not drawing any red mana. I drew a red mana here, but I needed it for white. Ah, they drew a 5th land. I can't deal with Goldspan Dragon right now. Oh no. I might be dead. I need to draw untap land right now to attack with Hive. No, more red spells! I might be dead, chat. God. I only play 4 of these. Gosh, any land, they would have been dead right now. Any land off the top. But now they get to, like, cast both of these cards, because they... God. They don't have any blue mana, and have a couple blue cards. Ah. They also have the Lair to block, too. They top deck 2 lands in a row. Ah. 3 lands in a row. They don't have any removal spells. Vanishing Verse? They have Negate. God, this is close. Got mulligan to 5. Had 2 draws and missed my land drop. And then they missed their land drop. And then drew back to back to back to back lands. This is one of the reasons why I posted on Twitter that I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is easier than Magic, is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have inherent resource variance like this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have, like, oh, you don't draw the lands, then you can't play the game. And yeah, you can build your deck accordingly, or you can have amazing mana by playing like a monocolored deck or whatever. Like, there's also disadvantages in that. Duress. Duress is good. Duress gets negated. Then I Vanishing Verse Goldspan and hit them for game? Is that how this works? Unless they have a removal spell. They don't have one! It's game, right? No, it's not game because they can animate the lair of the Hydra, right? They can make a 5/5. They use them all. But they're just gonna make a 3/3. Libo, what's up? R&B, thanks for the follow. They're all they have to do is make like a 5/5 and they can survive. They didn't? They can only make a 2/2. They can make a 2/2 lair. And then they can survive. Because they block the Skyclave and then block the 1/2. They block the 1/2 with this, and then block the Skyclave with their 2/2 lair. Here. They have a 4/4 and a 2/2, 4, 5, 6. At least it makes them use all of their treasures. Makes them use all of their treasures, and they lose a lair. And then they can't even cast Chariot. But can I die, though? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think I can die. But it means that if they out my Spellbinder, they outright... I think I'm supposed to attack. It's the only way that makes them use all their treasures and lose lair. And then the most I can get, even with an untapped land drawn, I can go to 10, but I can't go to 12. Oh. They can always lair for 1, and then lose the lair without trading. Even if they draw Goldspan, I don't lose. They have to kill Spellbinder. And if they can't kill Spellbinder... No! Shatter Skull Smashing. Okay, I have to draw an untapped land. I have to draw an untapped land if they attack with one thing. Please attack. Untap land. Untap land. Untap land. Any untap land. Yes! Do I go for it? If this card is Dragon's Fire, I'm going for it. Yes! Oh! Oh my god.
Insanely unlucky.
it would be insanely unlucky, and it wasn't a good bluff. Whatever that card was, I don't think it was a good bluff because one Jame in that spot has to go for it. Like, there's no choice. So bluffing won't get you out of it. So I really want to know what the card was that did not get rummaged, on that turn. It's kind of, it's a mystery. I will always wonder what was in the box.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Whew. As soon as they top decked that removal, James's face was just I was heartbroken for him, but well played from both players. That was an amazing round one. Real quick, guys, the random door prize is the $25 Ultra Pro gift card that goes to any player who is playing in this round. We are going to do one of these each round, and
that was so close. Oh my gosh, that was one of the closest matches I've played in a while.
Number 121. So if I'm not mistaken,
misclick
that should
Valky
be the
instead of
first
the ball.
player at
No,
table
Scoob.
61. If anybody can verify my math, if that
Well, yeah,
makes sense.
I don't think that was a good bluff though, because I have to go for game there anyway.
No,
my game was
I
broadcast.
have no idea.
Okay, so table 60 should be the second player should be 120. So player at 61 should be player 121. So I'm going to go ahead and copy pasta this name, and we're going to put this into the Discord for our first door prize. But don't forget, guys, there's prizes on the line for you too.
I didn't know it was in my hand.
So I'm also going to be starting up our first
but
giveaway for the community, where you guys
the only way they
also
lose
win
there
a
is to hide, right?
$25 gift card. Anyone can win. You don't need to be a subscriber or anything.
Like, I don't have burn in my deck, right?
How exciting. Make sure you guys get in on that. And yeah, we've got chat to
it wasn't that bad. Yeah, they had lethal if I didn't draw land. They were just praying that I didn't draw land.
I have many skills. Numbers is not one of them.
Thanks, Elliot. Yeah, I said the right number and then accidentally copied the wrong name because I'm dumb. All right, so the giveaway is officially open.
I'm reading what they're saying
If you guys would like a chance to
about
win that $25
my
Ultra Pro gift card for yourself, now is the perfect time to enter. And if you guys are enjoying the event and would like to help us run more of these in the future, make sure you guys please check out Ultra Pro, the sponsor of the event, and use the DEGEN code for 5% off. That basically tells them that we sent you and helps us run more of these in the future.
Dude, this chat just exploded. It's like they like free stuff.
Free
oh my
stuff
goodness.
Is sweet. Let's see if we have any current DEGENs still active. Looks like we have Adam the Ant on game 3.
You almost signed up to play, then realize your son has a game at 6.
Oh my gosh, there's an ant on the screen. I've seen his stream.
The family's more important.
I overreact every time.
Sometimes it makes it really
game
big.
3 is over.
Ooh, so Adam the Ant just took a loss. So it looks like Radiant Go is going to be getting a $10 bounty gift card as well from Ultra Pro. So congratulations to Radiant. And it looks like most of our rounds are
6 or 7.
Adam the Ant looking unfazed, doesn't look too down about the loss. Looks pretty pleasant in general for a red insect that talks and plays Magic. I was trying to find the deck list. It looks like he might be playing the Mindlink Mech Calamity Bearer combo. Have you seen this?
Adam the Ant, you mean?
Yeah.
Let me pull it up. Is it,
Oh, it's 8 rounds?
Let's see.
X11 makes it to top 8.
Unique.
And that's it, right? You can't lose twice? Or can you lose twice?
Huh. I can't seem to pull him up. Oh, wait. Found it. It's Adam Ant MTG. Okay.
All right, so we're looking at is it mid-range is what you're suggesting?
Yeah, this is it. So the deck, it goes around this idea that you can play a Calamity Bearer, which is a giant that says if a giant source would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage. Mm-hmm. And you can use it to crew Mindlink Mech, which when it gets crewed, becomes a copy of whatever crews it, as long as it's a non-legendary. Yep. So it makes the Mindlink Mech deal double damage, but it actually deals triple damage because you have 2 Calamity Bearers.
And it also is flying, which is quite a walloping, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so it's 16.
Won't make it, okay.
Holy smokes, now that's a brew.
Yeah, it's 16 on turn 4. It feels painful. And there's also lizard blades in the deck to give it double strike in case you needed 32.
Yeah, that's Mimic Pool as well
case you
to
needed
help
32.
get more and more of these things. I imagine a couple of Calamity Bearers and a Glass Mimic Pool can probably just win the game on its own. We have Reckless Stormseeker. This is an interesting.
You don't think you'll
deck.
see Anvil that often? I'm prepared for the Anvil matchup because that matchup is awful. I hate playing at that deck.
I
It's
like
the new Rogues deck
dice
for me.
removal nod. That is, you see a guard approach, which can give the creatures the powerful swinging creature.
At 3 layers right there. Yeah, I was watching them, which was watching me.
That's an interesting
The one James, how's your heart rate? We see you in the chat. How you doing? You gave us like the hands-on headshot, and I was looking like maybe a little sweaty, maybe a little. I'm not judging. I would be sweating too. That was pretty epic.
Also, guys, side note: if you guys are playing in the event and you are a content creator, don't forget to put your name in the streamer coverage channel if you would like us to feature you on the coverage side of things. If you start to do well, we can't watch the DEGENs all day long, so you guys are welcome to do that if you want to give us permission to restream your gameplay and feature you on coverage.
Yep, always looking for some sweet games to cover. So step up. Don't be shy. I could say all kinds of fun things about your match, too. I could mispronounce stuff, make adolescent jokes. It'll be fun.
We actually do have one of our streamers that gave us permission, Elliot Dragon, who is a fantastic streamer, mostly streams in French, but speaks English and can answer questions and do all sorts of things, and plays some of the highest level Magic that you're going to find here on Twitch, playing Esper Planeswalkers. So that might be an interesting one for us to check out later as well in the next round.
I do like some Esper Planeswalkers. I do like some Elliot Dragon. So yeah, I'm down for this.
Awesome. What is your current favorite deck in Standard right now, CGB? What do you want to win the event?
Oh man. So this Standard has been interesting because there's a lot of interesting decks to choose from, but I've also kind of seen them all for a while. So I'm a little bit anti a lot of the establishment right now. I could be down for the Esper Planeswalkers though. That deck is just kind of endless value. But I think that my favorite thing is Invoke Despair. And there's a green-black deck going around with Shigeki, which lets you get back several cards from the graveyard to cast Invoke Despair over
Is my
and
beard
over.
still not even,
so
Riley?
if somebody is playing Shigeki Invoke Despair,
Is it not even?
I'm in.
Okay.
Like if that is doing the job, I'm all for it. Sometimes it runs to Rolf the Realm Eater as well, which is a legendary wolf from Kaldheim that hasn't seen much play. So we'll see. Maybe that deck is out here somewhere. It's been making occasional appearances in the competitive scene, but is by no means the favorite.
So I was just kind of scrolling through our list of players here, and we have some interesting one. Boros Elementals. I've seen a fair amount of Boros running around, but certainly no Elementals list.
Boros Elementals? I can't even imagine what Elementals go. What's in
Field
right
Historian, the one that when something leaves your graveyard, you make a 3/2. The Strixhaven Uncommon. That thing was interesting. This seems like a brew.
now? I've never heard of this card in my life.
This seems like a brew.
I'm a director, so
Where's
I've
Field
certainly played a
Historian?
fair amount of it. Yeah, it seems more spirit-based than elemental-based to me, but backing at least with
Quintorius.
spirits. We have
All right.
Thundering Raiju.
Ooh, that card is a beating.
That outspices you? Yeah. Whoever's playing
Red
Quintorius
Mage like
outspices
you would
anybody.
really enjoy that card.
Maybe. I don't know what you're talking about.
I found my spirit animal. Guardian the Second is playing a deck called Golgari Planeswalkers that has 3 Shigekis and 4 Invoke Despairs.
Okay, so that's who you're cheering for? Unofficially?
Guardian the Second lost the first round to Rakdos Midrange, so I prefer to back winners. I'm biased that way.
Boros Enchantments. What is this?
Looks like just Boros aggro.
Legion Angel. Fable Mirror Breaker. It just kind of seems like Boros to me.
Boros midrange.
It has just Showdown of the Skalds and the Saga.
Okay. Like Saga Tribal almost with Fable and Showdown. And
Yeah.
I guess that's the enchantments that we're talking about. Let's see. I found another one. RMB, who I think is a viewer of both of our channels, is playing a green-black deck with Serulf the Realm Eater, Shigeki, and Invoke Despair. So, unfortunately, also lost round 1. This is a disturbing pattern.
Geki's not doing so hot. We have a couple
This is a
other
disturbing pattern.
people that we could watch that are not members of the DEGEN who've given us permission, and that's Samsony, which is a 2-0 with Rakdos Sacrifice, Sandy Dog, who is yet to submit. Wait, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Sandy Dog. I'll check.
Sandy Dog, known mono red player. Curious what he's running in a world where mono red isn't what it used to be. There's a 5-color control list in the field, but unfortunately lost round 1. I'll whet the appetite of chat with 4 copies of Path to the World Tree in the main deck.
Ooh.
Goodness.
Okay.
Path to the World Tree.
Goodness.
I'm gonna pull up our next match when we're gonna be watching Elliot Dragon. That situation.
Yeah, our next round isn't up yet.
We have 12 matches remaining.
I'll be
CGB, would
I'll
you
be right back,
like to
chat.
take a quick break before going into round 3?
I would love to. I have a little lotion to apply to my skin. I just woke up. I'm feeling a little crusty.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Well, if you'd like to mute your mic, you can go ahead and get up. Take 12 matches is quite a while, so grab a drink, do whatever you need to do.
All right. You're going to hang out with them?
I will hang out and try to be entertaining, but I know I can't fill the void that you will. Pat loves you far more.
Just say Ass Pirate. They love that.
I was literally just gonna say I'll just say Ass Pirate a bunch and we'll go from there.
Give them the mono Ass Pirate beatdown. Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. That was pretty good. You guys, we have a ton of viewers in the channel. Hitting 300 viewers without a host is pretty massive, and I really do appreciate you guys. Yoshi, you don't need to schedule a 5-minute break. I'm planning our breaks basically whenever we have shorter rounds. So if we don't need a break, I'll basically go from one video to another. And then if we do need breaks, I'll just watch the one round and then we're done. She adjusted the camera based on the comment made in chat, didn't respond. Smooth. I actually think you might be giving me more credit than I deserve because I don't actually remember anything I did. I think that might have just been random. Okay, I'm gonna end the recording for round 1. And I will start the recording for round 2 in just a few minutes. Oh, CGB's video is running over. I see. Look, I can, let me fix. Have some streamception. Welcome to my streamer universe. How's that? Better? This is our first time using our new fancy overlays made by Holy. Shout out. DEGEN at heart helping us out. We have this one and we have this one, which looks so fancy. We are the fanciest team ever. When can you buy a DEGEN jersey? Actually, DEGEN Gaming is indeed working on making jerseys for our team members, and then we might offer the opportunity for people to buy into them. We'll see, because we do have a pretty large supportive community. What do you think, CGB? What should we do for our jerseys?
I'm a big fan of the phrasing one in best of one, so I'd like that on the back of at least one of these jerseys.
I can make that happen for you.
Maybe some fans would also like that on the back of their jersey. I don't know. I often wonder if it's a successful catchphrase because they actually think it applies to me, or because it's a cool catchphrase other people would want to have. But yeah, the jerseys sound great. Sign me up.
Someone says they will pay to see CGB in a pink jersey. How much?
I don't look as bad in pink as people would assume. Just wanted that out there. Just want that just hanging
you
in
have a soft complexion. I can see pink going very nicely.
See? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Football style jersey
so you guys do
with the
know,
pads and everything.
We are planning on, expanding our tournaments. We are talking about doing some sort of tournament series where you guys qualify for a bigger cash prize one at the end. We're looking to expand it to possibly 2, maybe even 4 events per month. Maybe doing something weekly would be really fun. And that's something that we have just been working on behind the scenes. We're currently running one big DJ tournament, as well as one Patreon tournament, which will be open to basically our team patrons, and they will play against our actual content creators, which should be a ton of fun. You guys can always check those things out.
That sounds really interesting. See if they just hard meta deck against you if they're really out for blood.
That's the fun thing. So if you guys are interested in getting involved with any of those things, you guys can always check out our DEGEN Discord, where we post a lot of those sort of announcements on dates, and we post links to our various tournaments and such.
So you got a Pioneer deck, huh? What are you going pro? Going for the Pro Tour now that that's coming back and Pioneer's the format of choice?
I mean, I never tend to try to qualify for the Pro Tour. What I try to do is just play in events that I happen to think are fun. Like, I'll probably play in a bunch of the limited ones just because I want to go play limited. If I make it, I make it.
Okay. But just happen to have this Pioneer deck over here.
Yeah, like I'm going to PAX East. So if anybody's going to be in PAX East, I'll be there for 2 of the days, Thursday, Friday. So if there's any magic or anything going on, I'll try to bring my my deck.
There's definitely is that the new Capenna pre-release? I think is Friday, Saturday.
I think so, something like that.
I think so. Yeah, I will be there as well. So see you there.
Thursday, April 21st.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what decks to bring because I thought I might just be playing. Hold on. I might be playing limited to play with to get new Capenna cards and things of that nature.
Limited is great.
Where is it?
Limited is wonderful for a lot of people, and then for me, it's about card acquisition at pre-releases.
It is in Boston
because that's how you get new cards.
Yeah,
that's way too far for me.
But similarly to the last way, I
would love to go if I had just
done well
money.
in GPs or done well at the Invitational. Never was I I hope I X3 or whatever so I can get into the Pro Tour.
Just kind of smashed one's way in because you were already you were in the events that happened to lead there. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good tactic. I though would love to see you burninating the Pro Tour again when it comes back. Personally, I get very excited seeing my friends absolutely roast the competition,
Ordered a box of new
even
Capenna.
if they're
Let's
playing
go,
Murph.
I mean, The last time I played in the Pro Tour, we had to play Modern, and I played, a whopping 7 matches of Modern going into the Pro Tour. So I can't say that I am...
Boston's so close to you, you could go.
I try very hard to get to it if I'm not going to try hard to do well in it.
That said, you played Burn, right? And you point spell at face.
Yep.
Sometimes you win. Yep.
Yeah, I went 3-2 in Modern, surprisingly.
I got to do a couple of Modern Horizons. It was Modern Horizons Draft, right? Was the format for that one? And that draft
nothing like
format was
cracking a pack.
bizarre. Those cards are
Smell
were just absurdly broken.
There's nothing like a newly cracked open pack smell, you know what I mean?
So I have our next
You have a round?
feature match shown. It's going to be Elliot Dragon. We don't know who they're playing yet, just because we don't have our round 2 pairings.
No pairings yet.
If you don't mind holding down the fort before we get these official pairings, CGB, I'm going to go grab some more coffee.
I'll hold down the fort a little bit. Chat and I will have fun.
All right. Talk about lots and lots of aspirants.
Sure. So, mono aspirant tribal is what you get if we run out of things to talk about. But there is the question about the jerseys. Are we looking at hockey, football, or baseball? Riley, you're trying to open a can of worms that's dangerous on this channel. Now, you're lucky because Airball's not here. The last time this happened during one of these tournaments, Airball and I had a lot to say about getting hockey jerseys and general Canada versus US, and you opened a whole can of worms. You don't even understand. The rivalry between the Canadians and Americans here is strong. So you have to be really careful with that kind of talk. But no, of course we're not getting hockey jerseys. It's not a real sport.
I don't know what event it is either. Might have to go to the PAX website.
Let's see. Baseball because tight pants and long socks. I'm in for the baseball tight pants. I think that Magic tournaments in general could do for more tight pants. Way too much sweatpants, way too much lounge pants. We just need way more leggings and tight pants just to make this a little bit more of an athletic event. You know what I mean? Show off the athleticism. Just a lot of really strong fitness statements. You know what I mean? Samsoni says, I'll fight you. What is with the Canadians and the fighting? Huh? The only place I've ever been where there was just a straight up fight in the middle of the street, outside a pretty chill nightclub was Canada. I think I've told this story on stream before. But yeah, 2 people just run out in the middle of the street and start straight up all in punching each other. And I thought Canadians were supposed to be nice. So one James, you're going to show up to TwitchCon in a full baseball uniform. Well, at least I'll know who you are. I will not have any trouble identifying you. I was going to show up in a gi, like a full Karate Kid outfit. I was thinking about that. I've also recently ordered the suit, my gangsta suit for New Capenna, which I should have in time
Happy
to
host
bring
CGB's
to
nice
PAX.
to
So
see
if
the
anybody's
streams
going
in
to PAX,
CGB.
I might be showing up in a very special Azorius colored suit that I've had that is being delivered hopefully next week. So that should be a lot of
Azorius
fun
colored
for
suit, so he's just
anybody
Kaiba?
making it to PAX. Veggie Wagon, you're in chat. Are you going to PAX? I think I saw on Twitter that you were going to PAX, right? We might have to get the band back together. Maybe sing some songs. All right, Veggie is PAX. Nice to hear. We got any other PAX gamers in the chat that I'm gonna see? Gonna play some Commander or some Draft with? Anybody?
If I could technically
Looks like we got Veggie at PAX.
But then I would have. I would get to put it.
Oh my
as
goodness.
a tax break, which is good.
That boy can sing. I don't know if you know, because I know about the Ultra Pro commercial, but it doesn't even do justice. He can't be contained within an Ultra Pro commercial. It's kind of incredible.
The Moana song cover was.
It's like impressive. YouTube CGB, yeah, right.
I have to say I really enjoy playing that. He gave me permission to play it on my stream, so I play it like every stream.
TwitchCon is another thing. If you guys are in the SoCal area, we are doing some DEGEN meetups and even doing like a DEGEN Airbnb So there'll be quite a few of our members hanging out there if you guys are interested in hanging out with some of our meetup things. Last time we did Top Golf and Drinks during the last Vegas event, and that was super fun. So we'll be doing a lot of cool events.
When is TwitchCon? Is it October, November?
I believe it's October.
Right. The return of TwitchCon after 2-year hiatus. I think CovertGoGina is interested in TwitchCon. She's talked about it a few times. So probably be making our way out there.
Okay, well, we definitely, would love to have you. I think if you wanted to do one of the DEGEN Airbnbs, we have, I think, 2 houses working right now. So you could join.
Yeah, I was going to say one of. You guys are, like, popping up, just spreading, multiplying.
I don't want too many people jammed into a house, but if you wanted to do one with, like, me, you, and Ollie, Ollie's also bringing his wife. You guys are welcome to come in and join us.
Ooh, that is how content works, though, right? For these teams, is you shove them all into a house. Isn't that what they do now? I'm trying to think of the names of some of these shows. Like that, is that FaZe Clan? Is that what FaZe Clan does? I think so. Hype House, there it is. Hype House, the TikTokers, the 20-something TikTokers.
It's annoying to see the stream snarky CGB.
Get very upset at each other recently or something.
What about when he has the glasses?
If there isn't drama, is there content, right? That's the whole point of locking them in the house. I know we all get along, so it could just be. At worst, though, we save some money on accommodations.
Tourney today? Yes. Our DEGEN tournament. Round 2 pairings are up. Let's take a look at what Elliot Dragon is going to be playing.
Round pairing received.
And we'll switch.
Okay, so we're playing against Blue-White Control. Okay. Yikes. We took out a Spellbinder from our decks. We might have a tough time for this. Didn't really expect to be playing against Blue-White Control in this tournament, I think. Overlord voice. It's acting, but even there, I don't like some remarks he makes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, to each their own. Like either you love him or you hate it. You know. It's good to know. It's good to just know that it's a show. You know. And you definitely and you don't have to like the show, you know. Sometimes you just want to change the channel, and that's perfectly fine. Not every content creator is going to be for everybody, and I do appreciate that. You know that you're here. that you're here and you like the content, and you're here almost every single day, if not every day. Alright, so we have Azorius Control. We have 4 Wandering Emperor, Hullbreaker, Lear, Jawari, March, 4 March, 4 Deluge, 3 Doomscar, 3 Fateful, 3 Negate, 2 Behold, 2 Amari's Call, 2 Farewell, 2 Sot Coming. God, we might just die. A Devastating Mastery, Sinful Stroke, Fading Hope. Only 1 Fading Hope, so. We're on the play, which is good. Apparition's really bad. We need to get off to a better start than this. We need like a turn 2, turn 3 play. That's not Skyclave. Is there anything to Skyclave in this entire deck? No, right? This is like a tad better, but I don't have red mana. I think I'm getting rid of the meat hook, though. A tad better, just because Brukuthar is better than Skyclave. Like, on an empty board. But they're going to get to hold up their Jawar Disruption to our Brukuthar, so we might just die. Probably not going to need this, and we've probably already lost the game, to be honest. Like, we weren't able to get under their spell, so we're probably dead. I'm going to play this out first, because this can't hit anything anyway, and if they have Jawar Disruption, they're going to be tempted to use it here. Okay. They have a lot of sweepers. They don't have too much 1-for-1 removal. They have 4 March and 3 Fateful Absence as their 1-for-1s. They have 3 Negate in the deck. I don't want them to negate this. I mean, this could be Wandering Emperor. I'm going to do... I think I'm going to play Fable out first. Because if they Wandering Emperor, they let this through, and I don't want them to negate this. At least they take 3 life from doing this.
My judgment is...
They could go land Doomscar. With second Emperor.
Guards, to me.
Hall. They play 2 Hall. Doomscar. A little too many lands here. Still too many lands. I need to make them Doomscar. I need to make them Doomscar this turn. I don't want to get Disdainful Stroke, but they only have 1 in the deck. But I also don't want to get Jawari'd. They probably just hold this. Hopefully they do it now, though. They had it. They also have Salt coming in the deck. That could be Salt coming too. I need to make sure this resolves, right? Could be Salt coming, could be Doomscar. I want them to Doomscar now. Okay, well now they've waited to Doomscar. They could have Iganjo. And they don't. So they're guaranteed to Doomscar. Now I have to hope this last card's not a counterspell. Drawing way too many lands this game. Good thing I'm playing 2 Legion Angel main deck. There's the other one. Resolves. March for 4. Resolves. March for 4. I really have to hope that they don't draw Memory Deluge. Do they have Salt coming or Disdainful Stroke? There it is. Hagramaling. Okay, this can kill... This can kill a, Leer, or Hullbreaker. Or a Hull. Yikes. I need to draw Blood Chief's Thirst off the top. Sorin? They drew the Disdainful Stroke. They drew it for turn, though, right? No! At least I can't counter anything? I drew a land. They're just going to Amari's Call out of their graveyard. I'm going to die. They top decked Memory Deluge. Wow! Top deck. They drew the one of Disdainful Stroke off the top of the deck because they would have used it on the Legion Angel or Wandering Emperor if that was the case. Wow. I guess I have to hope they don't have Fading Hope. They have one Fading Hope in the whole deck. Perfect. I mean, I'm gonna just die to their lands. Another Memory Deluge. It was only a matter of time till they drew these cards, though. Where are my creature lands at? Hopefully they draw a couple of their Fateful Absences so I can get more draws. That's their third march. Wow, I would have really, really liked that march. I would have really liked that Fable so I can discard both of these freaking lands. And now I'm definitely dead. They're just like, Hullbreaker, bounce your stuff, bounce your stuff, bounce your stuff. Discard Farewell for hand size. Yep. Too many lands.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming.
I've drawn a lot of lands. Alright, I'll be able to get my Graveyard Trespasser in here. The Braid is bad, Cathar is bad, Skyclave is bad, Bloodchief's Thirst is bad. We need Duress, Trespasser, Meat Hook's bad. Okay, so I guess we just lose to Blue Eye Control. Because, like, this can deal with if Sunset Revelry, like, another Fading Hope, another Farewell, another Hullbreaker Horror, another Leer. I guess this is just a 3-mana 2/2. I guess it can deal with Wandering Emperor. Discarding March is powerful. That means they're light on land. Good draw. Doomscar. They really want to play Doomscar on turn 3. So I make them do it, and then I hit their hand with Spellbinder. Hopefully I draw any untapped land so I can Spellbinder and Duress. Or I could just, like, jam Cosmos Elixir, but... Guess I get to do Duress and Professor. They don't have double blue. They're gonna have to go, like, double... Okay, I can play around all counter spells. All right, when they foretell, they're not going to foretell twice. They have Sot coming here.
I'm home. May your blade strike true. I still have much to learn.
Duress is a good draw. Tough one. Oh wow, they can Field of Ruin me because they know I have both my basics. Annoying. They can get me off red completely. So I need to cast Fable the Mirror Breaker next turn, so I can actually just ever cast it, I think. Wow, that's red. They have Sot coming, guaranteed. They have 2 Sot comings. Because I saw them have 2 Sot comings. So I just don't cast anything. Ah, that's annoying. Their last card was Memory Deluge. So their hand is 2 Sot Comings plus 3 cards. 2 of them off Memory Deluge. That's really annoying. That is insane. That's like the best last card to have possible. I could have played into a Sot Coming, like playing around them having that card, but I don't know. I really needed them to animate that land there. Okay, they want to Memory Deluge here. I'm gonna cast a spell so that if they counter it, they can't deluge. Wow, they don't care about. Okay, they just don't care about that. They're just gonna deluge anyway. It's not coming into Maria's call. I'm gonna take a Maria's call so that they can't cast that and hold up a counter spell. Where are my graveyard trespassers? Alright, so they're going to get a Doomscar here. They're at 5. Hopefully they just try to animate the land to block.
Run away. You'll be safer. You're done.
They have Sot coming. Gonna force something out. Nothing got countered. Guess they're gonna try to Memory Deluge for a sweeper. If they get Farewell, I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. There's only 3 Farewells in the deck post board, if they brought one in. God!
Try not to.
Guards, to me.
There's only so much I can do here. God. Like, their last card being double counterspell plus Memory Deluge was so backbreaking. I just can't do enough damage in time.
Keep watch for intruders.
Like, they still have 2 counterspells. Main phase Memory Deluge. Here we go again with the lands.
Still have much to learn.
There's no good spot to cast this. Oh, is that the 3rd one?
I've learned much during my travels.
Yep.
To me. We've got the edge in this fight.
I started out my meat hooks. Even then it would get countered. They have 2 counterspells still. I can't cast both of these. They still have 2 counter spells as their last cards. 4, 8, 19, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm dead.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Yep. I'm just going to lose to blue-eye control. That just has to be the thing. It's, like, unwinnable. Unless I draw, like, back-to-back-to-back-to-back discard / Elite Spellbinders. And that's just not reasonable. I don't know. I think they got a little lucky, too. But whatever.
Be in the main deck.
Oh, was there? I missed that one.
Yep. So there might be 2 after boarding. I didn't see if the extra got boarded in or not. Den of the Bugbears going to work.
Found another land, though.
Feels like Teferi here is a pretty good play. You can untap your white source and have March available for the creature land.
Maybe I should have just played Esper
I
Planeswalker.
wonder if you make a
event.
ninja.
I think so. Especially because you've already hit your
Like
land
knowing
drop
that there was a
for
lot
turn.
of stuff on the line here, and if I win, if I win
Have a
this,
ninja.
then like
Go ninja, go ninja, go.
I get into the Mythic Championship or whatever it's called.
Elliot's really hoping here that the Hive of the Eye Tyrant gets powered up. He has been... The interesting part is he's been bluffing stops throughout, so the stick might not mean anything to 1/2. And right here, there would be stick for this March of Otherworldly Light. But 1/2 might just play around it. 1/2 might also not have another way to deal with the Planeswalkers. Looking at this list, I'm trying to find easy ways to kill Planeswalkers. Not many. Voltage Surge can reach out and hit Planeswalker, and there might be 4 of those
This
in
is
the deck
standard,
now,
Mike
but
Wood.
that's about it.
Yeah, it is important to note that the 1/2 does know about the March. It is one of the exposed cards from the original Duress.
You're right. I see that now. Thank you.
I needed a
Invoke
Graveyard
Despair is
Trespasser in
another
that
thing
game.
that hits
If
a
I had it, I
Planeswalker.
think I would have a shot.
But it's a Planeswalker
In any of those
choice.
games.
But that said, 1/2 does need to deal with these Planeswalkers some way. So if they're not
Another decision
activating
point I could have
land,
made was let them
what are
have
they
the
doing?
Devastating
If these
Mastery and
Planeswalkers
then
stay
just
on the
take a
board
counterspell,
too
but
long,
that's
this
just
could
really
be,
bad. I think.
problematic.
Oh, that does it. Shadow Skull Smashing, of course. There are 4 of those in the Grixis list, so yeah. Shadow Skull Smashing, easy to forget about that land that can also reach out and smash various creatures and Planeswalkers.
I like the play here. I agree. I don't think I am
Not
arching
terrified of that
the
goblin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Teferi providing a little bit of ramp here so that Nico can come down and make a shard.
I like
And
that.
then the
Kills a
-1
1/1.
kills the goblin. There you go. Yep. Man, do I love the way that March kills creature lands. It's just one of my favorite things about the card.
Yeah, it's overpowered.
Someone is asking how many rounds
Like
there is.
the Mark
11,
should not be able to kill
including
creature
the
lands for
Tatsutami.
like 0 on the X. Like it's just
That's a lot of rounds.
like it's
Yeah.
by
You up for all these
mile,
rounds?
an infinite
You got a
mile
heck of a
better than
day.
all the other
You're up
ones.
for all these rounds?
I
You
am
got a heck of a
not.
day.
Thankfully not. So we have 4 casters today that we're going to be alternating between. I actually get to dip out after this round for a little bit.
You're like the DEGEN Queen Bee, though. You're like also you're behind the scenes CEOing the whole event anyway, right? You're the boss.
A little bit. Phoenix, one of our other DGens, she's kind of the tournament boss at this point. She runs the event and makes sure we have people and does all the stuff. Thankfully, she saves my butt.
Good leaders have good teams, so
Certainly. So you are doing the first 6 rounds. Airball and I are alternating in the middle there, and then Airball and I do some coverage together, and then Brad Nelson comes on and does the last 3 rounds for top 8, and I will switch back in for Airball.
Lolth Spider Queen. All planeswalkers all the time on this battlefield right now.
There's a lot of planeswalkers on this battlefield, and there's soon to be a lot more.
Yeah, feels like the War of the Spark meta came back. Planeswalkers took a backseat for a while during, like, Eldraine, after Oko got banned, but here we go.
This is going to be a long one. At this point, we're just like slowly trying to battle it out, trying to get just the slightest bit of card advantage, and both players are doing a damn fine job of doing that with all these planeswalkers.
Elliot in a tougher spot because of the mana constraints and the lack of dual lands, meaning the sources are very limited.
We also have a new Capian emote.
The mana efficient play here, possibly dropping Kaya. You could exile that Lolth right now if you wanted to, but then you'd still have a Spider coming after Nico or Teferi. It's a very, or Kaya, if you play Kaya. It's a very interesting spot. I wonder about the Wandering Emperor just, battling that Spider.
Or Invoke Despair and Bankbuster? Jeez.
Ah, look at this. Look at this tricky interaction. Teferi taps the Spider, Nico kills the Spider. I love it. And then, as if there weren't enough Spider in this turn, Katos, the Silent Spider, taking the Shatterskull Smashings. Ooh, there's 2 in the opponent's hand as well.
It literally just gets rid of them.
Kind of
it doesn't replace them either.
Wow, what a play this Katos is.
Getting a little colorless land is definitely a nice bonus here.
Look at that. Hits the land drop.
Whoa.
Oh, what a sequence.
Yeah, with an Invoke, here's a good follow-up from 1-2.
Invoke nails the Shard token, the Katos even nails the Nico. And now it's one Planeswalker versus one Planeswalker all over again.
Yes, but we know that Elliot here has plenty more Planeswalkers where those came from, as well as card draw and everything else you could want. I would venture to say Elliot is substantially in the lead in this position.
The Planeswalkers start coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming and they don't stop coming.
Exile the
really
Lolth
tempting here to use the Kaya, get that Lolth exile, but now there's no march for those creature lands. So a Planeswalker is probably about to die.
Still no second blue source. These Nikos are just kind of chilling in hand. Now the Teferi will be able to get one out, the slow and steady way, but it's gonna take a minute.
Another duress could leave Elliot with no castables if the Teferi goes down. I believe the Teferi's on 7 though.
Teferi was at 6, I think, before, yeah.
It's a little, his head might be blocking that Teferi loyalty a tiny bit. I'm not saying you have a big head, just overlay position, that's all.
So do we knock down the Teferi or try to kill the Kaya here?
If Teferi's on 7, that's ultimate range. So something has to at least tag Teferi.
Yep.
So I'm guessing that's what the 1/1 Goblin is going to do.
So we can see Teferi now is at 6.
He blinked out his Planeswalkers? Yeah.
Blue source on cue.
Yeah, these creature lands, there's 3 of them on the side for 1/2, and that's going to be a pain to deal with when you have no protection for your Planeswalkers.
It also takes a lot of mana, though. And in the meantime, Elliot's just playing these Planeswalkers every turn, generating more advantage. These Nico's coming in, making shards is going to give some serious long game advantage. I like Elliot's position.
I still like Elliot's position as well. I am starting to like it less and less the further this game goes.
Nico for full value. All the shards, please. And another one. Not even minusing for the Goblin token. It's a pile of cards. It's just going to take mana and time to activate them.
This is quite the grindy game. If we go to game 3, I'm curious to see what the clocks look like. 1-2 does have one less time option. Planeswalkers are just taking a beating, and the 1/1s are growing.
Future lands are good.
1/2's list trying to figure out how you keep up on card advantage. Maybe the Kaito Shizukis came in from the sideboard, but it looks like these shards are going to be, as long as there's time to activate them, it's just going to bury 1/2 below a ton of cards.
I mean, there's also experimental synthesizer.
I'm still
there's
buzzing
also,
from that Silent Spider, Shatter Skull, the hammer.
There's also
pass
that
to hit that land drop.
but Negate's really
the game
good
would be
against
so
that,
much
the drop
different if
return.
that land had never been able to come into the equation.
This is definitely a tough decision. I like the negate. It's a good option here for Elliot.
It might make 1/2 regret not casting that Deadly Dispute a lot sooner. I usually negate Deadly Disputes. I find the card to be really crucial to what every archetype that plays it. But there are some who don't do that. Yeah, there are some people who don't negate card draw spells. So we'll see what happens.
I think you go for March here. I think you crack the shard, try to draw a March.
Here we
because
go.
Then you crack the shard and draw a March.
Quite a few lands
you
here
can
at
march
the end
the hive
after
and
an
still
initial
negate.
kind of, land screw situation. And it looks like Teferi's gonna finally take a beating.
Teferi represented his
There it is.
ancestors proudly.
Oh, there it is.
He really carried this.
March is an amazing draw.
Wow.
This might have been one of the reasons you don't let them go to combat first. You crack the token after activation for the land to prevent the extra 1/1 from coming into the battlefield.
Agree. In this specific situation, I think he was worried about the Hive of the Eye Tyrant getting powered up with the mana.
That's true.
He would have had exactly enough to, in response, Hive, and then that would still kill Teferi.
Hmm.
All right, so now there's a little pile of goblins to mess with.
Need a meat hook or something.
One card in
bottoming.
hand. Yeah.
Chat
Hand land.
also noting that 5 land pocket. I mean, you're bound to find them, especially when you spend the first part of the game a tad screwed on mana. But we had the same problem last game where Elliot was drawing a ton of lands, but that's kind of okay if you're drawing 2 or 3 lands a turn. Wow, make that like a... Oh my gosh. Make it a 9 land pocket.
It's a good activation by Teferi there, bidding us adieu after a lot of good work. Even said goodbye to 2 more lands on the way out the door.
If only this was a landfall deck, says Holy.
Elliot really needs to dodge a duress.
Also,
A
guys,
duress on this Nico would be brutal.
yes. Duress on the Nico would be pretty awful. I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't just play it here, but I mean, I would definitely want to crack these treasures as well. Guys, can we get
My record right now is 1-1.
emotes in the channel for Holy MTG.
I spoke
who set
practice
up
in my first
all
round
this
and lost
beautiful
ores. I've been
overlay
ranked my
stuff
second
for the
round.
team
Didn't
to
draw a
help
spec
bring
flavor hard
some
hitters
awesome
in
coverage
time.
to you guys.
I
and
got
make the
destroyed by
overlay
blue light
much
control,
cleaner. So if you're
but my
enjoying
deck's not built to beat
the,
that. I don't
content and the aesthetic. Make sure you guys spam some hype.
My
emotes
deck's
for
not
Holy.
built to beat
Helps them a lot.
so many sweepers and counterspells.
Holy
So.
is also my graphic
Like,
mastermind, so
I have
any
2
cool
brutal
graphics
Cathars
you
and
see
3
on my
special
channel
apparitions on
come
my main
from
deck.
Holy MTG.
I'm not supposed to beat blue light control.
Okay, Bankbuster, have a Kaito. These draws were quite good. We're gonna start giving a lot more things for
I got close
the
both
opponent to
times,
have
but
to worry
my
about.
deck
I don't
is
know
barely
what happened
not
to the
aggressive enough.
farewells
to
in
beat
boarding. I
blue
assume
light
they
control.
stayed in, considering they deal with all of the artifacts and enchantments that the opponent can have. But yeah, this is now looking pretty decent.
I'm starting to wonder if 1-2 boarded out most of the artifacts and enchantments. just a removal / creature land deck. Nico's still staying home. The den produced a certifiable army of goblins, didn't it?
It certainly did. And 1-2 does still have 3 creature lands that will need to be dealt with, sooner or later, because they are going to keep doing some work. The farewells, if they're still in the deck, should be able to take care of all of these
attacks the opponent for like 5 turns. I mean,
that
that's probably just the best play, right?
Started to become a bit of a problem.
More lands. This is becoming absolutely surreal.
Oh my goodness. More lands off the top for Elliot.
So this Reckoner Bankbuster still has some draws. You could play another Kaito, replacing a Kaito, going up on loyalty, getting more cards, or you could slam this Nico for a lot, but Nico is still staying home. Oh man, I really want, that is so scary to me against a deck that has duress.
We could abandon Meyer, right, into a Warden?
I believe a Wandering Emperor might still be down there. Yeah.
I think that's where I would be at. Oh, a Farewell into the Bin, Sad Days.
Yep. Finally, this den might meet its end.
But unfortunately, there's still 2 more menacing creature land that they will need to deal with at some point in the future, and a Farewell in the Bin.
And a rapidly declining life total, taking 5 here, dropping to single digits. Another Deadly Dispute as well. This Bankbuster needs to draw something juicy.
Beetle not too bad, considering the amount of lands Elliot has drawn.
Yeah, Elliot says no problem to the Beetle. I've got
only
some
planeswalkers and no creatures. Very
Here's
strong.
another land. There is, well
because the
champion of the last
planeswalkers
game,
make
Edgar
creatures.
Charmed Groom. Is it too late though?
Yeah, it might be.
How about a land?
Oh my gosh, more lands. Maybe some planeswalkers might make it scary if we have some sort of situation where we're playing Edgar and a few other planeswalkers. But we're getting into dangerous territory here.
For sure. This Nico might just have to come down and kill a goblin. The Reckoner Bankbuster makes a 1/1 as well, so there are some blockers.
Yeah, I like that. Saving 2 mana to draw with Bankbuster, make a 1/1, use it for cannon fodder. Now, Edgar only makes the lifelinkers if it's dead, but a couple of, lifelink creatures could be good. A Black March would be a big game changer if we could dump a bunch of mana into gaining 10-ish life.
Especially if there aren't any Deadly Disputes left. We've seen a few now. They tend to move in herds, but Deadly Dispute would be a blowout against the March.
I also don't hate killing the Wanderer here for the
Yeah,
extra
I mean,
2/2,
the thing about planeswalkers is that Farewell doesn't get rid of your own planeswalkers and gets rid of literally everything else.
Long-term
But not planeswalkers. You can just play a deck full of planeswalkers, play some Farewells, and then keep all your planeswalkers and exile everything else.
Would be
Really strong.
pretty reasonable thing for them to have.
What would also be pretty reasonable that I'm sure Elliot is worried about is Meat Hook Massacre. Meat Hook Massacre is a lot of drains with that little goblin army right now.
Yes, and we haven't seen any Meat Hook Massacres, so I'm wondering how many of those are still kicking in the deck, because this Esper Planeswalker deck doesn't have a ton of creatures, so do you think you keep in all of the Esper, or all of the Meat Hooks?
It depends how many cards you're bringing in from your sideboard and
I'm gonna
what
get some to eat
spots
real
they
quick,
take.
Chat.
But Meathook Massacre isn't like,
Do I think Wizards should give us
one of
more
the cool
cards to
things
deal
about
with
the card and
planeswalkers?
the reason
No.
it's a very powerful
They've been
and
giving us
valuable
even
card
more
is
recently.
it's actually
all the burn
good
spells can hit planeswalkers
against
now.
decks that
Like all of
that
them.
most sweepers wouldn't be good at because of the drainability.
And they're
Here it
they also
comes.
just printed
It
one of
is
the charms that also kills planeswalkers. Vesper charm.
So this
Also,
is
Blood Chief's Thirst
-5,
kills
right?
planeswalkers.
Down to 4.
The white
This is
2-mana
a
removal
tough
spell kills
spot.
planeswalkers. There's just a lot of cards that do.
No attacks first.
Blood in the Snow kills all planeswalkers.
What do you make of that?
I don't know. I was actually just wondering the same thing. I thought maybe they had the Menace land, but they don't have enough mana for that. Yeah, I think I definitely attack
Also,
first,
just
lose
creatures
a
kill
creature that way,
planeswalkers
but get in
by
an
attacking.
additional
But yeah.
4-ish
I'm
damage.
guessing. I guess if there are 2 blockers, I guess they lose more to the hook, right? Because of the 1 damage per creature if they didn't hit or do anything. But I don't know. Specifically, also keeping Edgar alive. Not wanting those life-linking vampires to come back. Wandering Emperor off the top. That is a huge draw to fight the creature land.
Wandering Emperor also has a gain 2 mechanic, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that's right.
Could be quite key as well.
Another Wandering Emperor to go with another Wandering Emperor. It's a tough spot to get out of, but if something's going to get you out of it, Wandering Emperor is probably it.
The gain life on the Wandering Emperor, if I'm not mistaken, is destroying a tapped creature?
Yeah, exile target tapped creature gain 2 life. It is a connected effect, so the creature has to get exiled for the life to get gained, which is why Deadly Dispute or some removal spell in response could come up here.
Game ending, yeah.
Here they come.
Ooh. The suspense. There's only 1 card left in 1-2's hand. Is it a third Deadly Dispute? It is not. Gaining 2 life here is so key. Wow. Okay.
Now those virus beetles are just rushing to their death. It'll deal 2 points of damage because of Meathook Massacre. But that's still, for now, out of range of what we can see.
What did he draw to deal with the 1/1s?
And we went from 4 creature lands on 1-2's side down to only 1. So, door is quickly closing.
Yeah, 1-2 as an experimental synthesizer, 1 hive, now a Kaito Shizuki that was boarded in, and a Meathook Massacre against 3 planeswalkers, Edgar, a Reckoner Bankbuster, and a growing pile of cards in Elliot's hand.
Farewell's a good card here. It's not good
What
in
was
this
your
particular
name?
situation, but I would
Meathook?
probably still
Yep,
hold
that's
on
the
to it
thing.
because if 1-2 finds a way back into the game, it would be through something Farewell would deal with, I think.
I think you take it and you name Enchantment. Personally, that's what I would do. Get rid of that hook. Get that hook off this battlefield. Oh, March can hit the hive, though. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. It seems like overkill, but I think in this spot, if you're Elliot, you just have to live. I think Farewell on hook would be a meaningful play. Let's see what he does. He's making Edgar unblockable, but when Edgar deals damage, Edgar will return to his hand.
Letting him replay a tapped creature.
Maybe he plans to name creatures with the Farewell and get rid of this ninja as well. Let's see.
Then you'd lose the Reckoner Bankbuster. At that point, I
Yeah.
don't think you would want to do that. Maybe you don't care.
I don't know. I was pretty surprised. That implies he's naming artifact that he sacrificed the treasure. Let's see. Here it is. Farewell.
Wow.
Who's going away?
They're okay with losing the Bankbuster. I'm kind of surprised. I don't think
You
I would
haven't-
have done that.
I think I just like it on the basis of you have way more cards than your opponent. All you have to do is make sure you live. So just take everything from them if you can.
certainly okay with killing the Wandering Emperor in this situation when we have another one in hand.
Yeah, ready to go. The mana to cast it as well. Hive is powering up. Interesting, the Hive going up against the Samurai token and the Edgar.
I really hope that this, or I should say Elliot really hopes that this Wandering Emperor gets to actually exile. Again, that extra 2 life here is pretty key because we've only seen 1 Meat Hook Massacre so far.
Yeah, it looks like Elliot went through both Mana Screw and Mana Flood in the same game somehow, and can still come out a victor here. Definitely in this. Looks like the favorite from here for, I would say for certain. Can he close it out?
You did say that you thought the Esper Planeswalkers deck did have the advantage in the matchup, so no surprise here from you, getting that long-term value from all of our Planeswalkers.
Yeah, and Farewell, really a key card in Game 1, and made a late but powerful appearance here in Game 2. It's a bold deck building choice to run 4 copies of a 6-mana sorcery, but it's really paying off. So Elliot's weighing whether or not to cast a Miria's Call here with the potential of another Meat Hook Massacre. Also taking out this Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Going to hold the call. There's already lethal represented on board.
I like holding the call. A Meat Hook Massacre, again, now there's still 3 likely in the deck. There's really no reason to put all your eggs in one basket.
Kaito and a Kaito with a Kaito.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly every land in the deck has been drawn. We know that there's like 4 more on the bottom because he keeps checking it. What's the best thing 1/2 could have here? I mean, Voltage Surge without an artifact only deals 2. That's lethal. It's over. Elliot does it.
Those were long games. Elliot had 4 minutes and 50 seconds on his timer. Important to note, if we had gone to a game 3, it is very likely, it looks like the opponent was also active on timer but had a lot more than 4 minutes left. So if, for whatever reason, 1/2 can pull that game out, Elliot's Planeswalkers might have got him in some trouble because he wouldn't have had enough time to wrap up a game 3.
It would have been really funny trying to watch either of those players wrap a game 3. So, but you know, Elliot somehow, I complain when I get mana screwed. I complain when I get mana flooded. Somehow got screwed and flooded and got the win. So, hats off.
Here is a link, guys, to Elliot's channel. If you enjoyed his gameplay, you guys could always check him out. He is primarily a French streamer, but answers questions in English should you have them. And if you just want to see top tier gameplay, that's a good place to be.
$11133 in the chat. Just a bad matchup for me? Oh, did you like 4 copies of Farewell in the main deck? It's a bit of a treatment.
Also, 1113, you were the winner of the door prize from the last round, so make sure you make it known who you are in the Discord, so that way we can give you that $25 Ultra Pro gift card moving forward. We'll probably be contacting you in a little bit. Just make sure Phoenix knows your Discord name, and I'll make sure that you get that gift card. And then, speaking of, let's go ahead and do the door prize for this round as well. We have a random number generator, and this round we had 178 players. We did have some people drop after the first round. So 178, let's go ahead and randomly generate the number. Player number 29 will be winning 1,500 gems for Arena.
Woohoo! Gems. People like gems.
So player 20. would be first player in table 15, if I'm not mistaken. Chat can correct me if I'm wrong.
Chat correcting people. No such thing.
And we'll also go ahead and do the prize for the $25 gift card for coverage as well. So if you guys are here hanging out with us, you guys definitely have a chance to win some more stuff. Uh-oh. Don't die.
Oh, shoot. I muted Discord, but I didn't mute the call. Darn it! I thought I did that right. My bad. Sorry, everybody.
It was not loud. You were fine. So, if your name is Amedio, sorry if I said your name wrong, make sure you guys message us in the Discord, let us know so we can contact you and hook you up with those gems.
Have to remember I'm not on a Discord call for moments like that. Difficult habit to break.
All right, and the winner of our first coverage giveaway for a $25 gift card is gonna be Ryan Diss. If you're still here, please message me on Discord and I will send you that $25 gift card. I got your name down.
You can get a fancy foil etched farewell, for example.
What?
Kind of what we were excited about with the gift card. You can spend that gift card on a farewell. I don't know if it'll cover the whole farewell.
It won't because we're sponsored by Ultra Pro.
Oh, my bad.
Did I say the wrong name?
Wrong gift card. No, I probably did. I'm sure you said the right name. On Ultra Pro, you can get a binder to put that fancy farewell in and protect it so that nothing bad could ever happen to your fancy farewell that you invested in. So it's still a fine use of such a gift card.
Right, and I have all of these listed in the announcement section. So if you guys miss it and you want to know if you won one of the door prizes, you guys could always check it there. I'm going to go ahead and pop up one of our other degens for just a little bit. Moving into the next round, I will be taking a 2-round break, and you guys will be switching off and having Airball and CGB doing wonderful coverage for you guys. Let's go take a look at how maybe LK might be in the match still. That was a long one.
Yeah, that was a grind.
All right.
Yeah, that might be the last of our open rounds that we can actually check out. But I do also want to say thank you guys. We got up to almost 500 viewers, and we haven't had any major raids today. So this is just people genuinely interested in coverage. So this is exciting.
It's exciting coverage. Standard's in a pretty good place, and competitive Magic may have a future. So hopefully tournament just interest picks up again as the world continues to get back to, the gathering, as they say.
How do you feel about Standard in general? Like, where is this a good Standard? To me, it feels like the decks are varied, which is not something we tend to see when Standard is very bad. But I do feel like a lot of decks are either Wandering Emperor or can you beat Wandering Emperor, and there's not a lot of middle ground there.
I can see where that comes from. I feel like, despite that sometimes white seems a little bit too good and prevalent, and that does lead to Wandering Emperor being everywhere, I don't feel like... I feel like Standard doesn't have a true villain like it's had for years now. You know what I mean? There's always been that deck. There's always been Alrund's Epiphany, Omnath, Uro, Oko, and, that's a good thing, but it kind of became Standard's identity for a while to just always have an arch villain, a Thanos of Standard, and I don't think there is one, so it leaves it feeling kind of, I don't know, it feels a little empty, but the Wandering Emperor is trying. It's just hard to hate the Wandering Emperor. She's so cool, She got a sword. she's got a good backstory. If you looked at the lore, very very likable character. It's hard to hate on the Wandering Emperor.
Heck, we're even working for the Wandering Emperor in the DEGENs and Dragons D&D campaign.
That's right. I just also ordered my paper Wandering Emperor, so I want them to continue to be sought
Announcement
after
received.
to protect my investment.
Love
New
it.
pairing
Oh my gosh,
received.
have you seen the prices on those?
All right, next round started. We play against Esper Planeswalkers.
Round timer started.
For Kaido, 4 Emperor, 2 Lolth, 1 Sorin, 1 Henrika Domnathi, 4 Vanishing Verse, 3 Doomscar, 3 March of Otherworldly Light, 3 Portable Hole, 3 Reckoner Bankbuster, 2 Duress, 2 Meathook Massacre, 1 Amarius Call, 1 Infernal Grasp, 1 Soul Shatter. So it's going to be a little bit easier of a matchup than Blue-White Control's going to be. Still going to be hard, though. A little bit easier. Anything with 4 Wandering Emperor in it's like really hard to kill your opponent. Like, gaining life and exiling your thing is good. But also next turn making blockers or powering up your Vigilance board is pretty good. Everything about Wandering Emperor is really good against aggro. Like, it's a Planeswalker that doesn't get attacked on the turn where they're attacking. And you get to exile their thing. And then your opponent has to worry about whether they want to attack it or not the next turn. So, like, it gains more than 2 life because they have to attack it with something on the next turn, which is life gain because they're not attacking you, you know? So it gains at least 3 life if they choose to attack it. Alright, let's see the emotes. Let's see all the let's goes in chat. Let's freaking go. On the play. Would like to see a 2-drop in this hand, but take this. A mulligan. Play our black source first. They could duress me. Would have really liked the 2-drop there.
The system can't fix everything, but we can. Our eyes are everywhere.
I'm gonna try to get rid of their Vanishing Verses before I play my Fable, I guess. Maybe there's a Vanishing Verse that's gonna come on the Spellbinder. Gotta get rid of that Kaido to stop them from having card advantage while they're doing this, though.
Thanks. I'll be
Gotta kill the
taking that
Kaido.
now. Whoops, you caught me.
Three Doomscars in the deck. If there was a Meat Hook, it'd be cast. I want them to use this on these. And not on these. Then maybe I can get a Meat Hook off on these cards. Like attack with Spellbinder, they Vanishing Verse it. Alright, my three can race this one, so they have to do something here. They have to act first. They gotta like Vanishing versus Spellbinder or something. Opponent's being patient. I'm being patient. They're gonna die if we're both patient. Like, they're the ones with the sweepers, so I'm not playing into the sweepers.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people. Try not to miss me. Keep watch for intruders.
I take no joy in the slaughter, but it's necessary. You wish to know my secrets? Very well.
They have 3 Doomscar, 3 March, 3 Portable Hull, 2 Duress, Infernal Grasp, Soul Shatter, Enrica. Yeah, I'm not playing into all that. We already got them to use 3 Vanishing Verses on these 3 cards.
Transgression has not gone unnoticed.
Well, like, if they sweep here with Doomscar, I'm okay with that still. Because then I just go make it 2-3. Meat Hook.
My ways are not for the weak.
They have a March. Only card they could have. My plan is to Professor and Pest Summoning, and then Meat Hook myself. They haven't drawn a Wandering Emperor or Wolf yet. But this is game on board. They're gonna have to march one of these things. Like, if their only play is March Professor, take 2, Portable Hole. Okay. This is still game, right? I mean, they could march the Sorin, but they'll die if they do that.
overconfident. You're just understanding.
Alright, so I think they still lose?
May your
do
blade
they?
strike true.
If I Professor for a land, I win. Professor, discard a card. Professor, discard a card, draw a land, untap land. Untap land minus Soren Meat Hook for 3.
Nothing on Innistrad.
Alright, I can Professor, discard a card, draw a land, Meat Hook for 1. Yes! Wow, the music on that was too high. Alright, chat. Whenever the music's like that, let me know that it's too high. Somehow. Even though it's emote only. Alright. Abraid's good against Bankbuster. Duress is good. Trespass is good since they have a lot of single target removal. That one Meat Hook was good, but I don't know if we're going to need that. Cosmos. Their sideboard is Ray of Enfeeblement, Archon of Emeria, Disdainful Stroke, Farewell, Check for Traps, Doomscar, Duress, Edgar, Lolth, Nighthawk. Which means Abraid is probably good. Hits Bankbuster, hits Portable Hole, hits random creatures, hits Nighthawk, hits Edgar as a artifact, hits Archon. Blood Chief's Thirst is probably bad, even though it kills Planeswalkers. Vanishing Verse. Probably bad. How good is Brutal Cathar? Probably bad. Do they have anything I care about? Probably just do it anyway. I'm gonna have to worry about Disdainful Stroke and, like, Farewell. They have no blue mana. They have March or Vanishing Verse. I think they would Vanishing Verse this if they had it. Could see a Wandering Emperor here. I do want to get in under Stroke, but they didn't make this. This is definitely Wandering Emperor, right? They could just hit me with a Doomscar. Professor. Professor gets... I guess my best play against Wandering Emperor is just Legion Angel. But then that kind of dies to Doomscar. I think the best play around Wandering Emperor and Doomscar is to go like this for Pest Summoning and then a Doomscar, and that's fine, because then I have these left over. And it's still enough of a board presence. To, like, be worthy of a Doomscar. And this plays also better against single target removal, like Vanishing Verse or March that I think they already have. There we go.
Finally, I'm home.
Alright, they don't have Doomscar because I made that 2/2.
The people. Guards, to me.
I'm assuming they have Doomscar, Edgar, Lolth, and Nighthawk in their deck. I'm blocking this because it has Vigilance anyway.
You reek with terror. We will slay our enemies.
God, how do I always get baited into that? Oh, never mind. I didn't get baited into it. It has Vigilance anyway. I gotta kill Lolth, but I can't. They just block, block, block. Please be a non-land. Ray of Enfeeblement. I want them to protect the there's just enough blockers here. I should just not attack. But then they sweep in minus Lulth again. You go block, block, block. I don't think I have a good way to win this. To like win this interaction here.
Aren't I generous?
If this was Brutal Cathar, it'd be better. Hey, sounds good, Monkey. Keep in mind that I'm in emo-only chat right now. Well, that's awesome. All right, they need to find an answer to reflection. I think they have. Maybe it was just Raven Feeblement that they had that could. No, they have a way to interact with reflection because they had a way to interact with it when it was an enchantment. So it's definitely Vanishing Verse or March or both. They're not playing this on blue. They side out all their counterspells, or they never sided in counterspells. They did not side in their disdainful strokes. That's good to know. But also, that means they don't have Kaido. Weird. This means they need 4 white. What will they need to have 4 white? They have Vanishing Verse. They have Vanishing Verse and March and another Wandering Emperor. They exiled Portable Hole from their hand. Whoa.
I bring my own army.
I'm not sure how I beat this here.
Without me, we're all doomed.
They draw. If they draw, okay, Nighthouse Scavenger. Okay, I can deal with that. I have a Braids in my deck. Stuff. I wonder if I should just cast Legion Angel here. Probably should, so they don't have a good attack with with these cards anymore. It makes them use their removal spell. So I think that's the march that they've always had. So now everything's been off the top. I don't have a good read on the rest of the things I have. A second Ray of Enfeeblement, that was strong. That was very strong. This Lolth is really bad. Really, really bad for me. They have one more Ray of Enfeeblement in the deck. Hopefully they don't have Disdainful Stroke. Okay, that's a good draw. I think my Brutal Cathars come back in based on this board. Unless they're already in my deck. They brought in a lot of removal spells. Wow. That's 5 removal spells in their grave.
Run away. You'll be safer. This is what you get for hurting my people.
They board out their Doomscars?
My hatred lives.
I have a good block on this Hive. If I draw Meat Hook, I can kill some stuff? No, I can't kill anything. Because these are 4s and I can only Meat Hook for 3.
I will cull the weak.
This Lolth has definitely been soloing, though.
I'm never done for good. May your blade strike true.
Based on that, do I want my Bloodchief's Thirst back? Or my Brutal Cathars back? Hey, Lucky Chaos. This is the second time I've had to mulligan and had no black sources. I have 17. Alright, just need to draw one land. How hard could that be? Oh, perfect. Bailed out. Bailed out. Also bailed out by drawing this. They can't get rid of March unless they can't get rid of Cosmos Elixir unless they march it. There's literally no other out in their whole deck. Lolth, Sorin, Wandering Emperor, Kaido, Henrika, Vanishing Verse, No, Doomscar, Portable Hole, Reckoner, Bankbuster, Duress, Meat Hook, Amaria's Call, Infernal Grass, Soul Shatter, nothing outs the Cosmos Elixir.
Announcement received.
I thought about getting Environmental Sciences to guarantee the draw off of Cosmos Elixir and hit my land drop, but I feel like not getting Reduced Memory there to out the Edgar is really bad for me. Like, if this is Wandering Emperor, I get to Vanishing Verse it. Okay. It's a good draw. I don't think they can stop that. Can't sacrifice it in response or anything. They can Infernal Grasp it. They can Rave Enfeeblement it. They can destroy it in response. Wandering Emperor. Alright, we're gonna have to come back from behind here. We're gonna get aggroed down really fast if we don't draw, like, another untapped land here.
Remember your training.
They drew their one of Edgar against us. What's up with opponents drawing their one ofs? Like, we lost to the one of, like, freaking 5/5 Dragon in one game, and now they draw this one of Edgar? What is up with that? Oh, and they drew the Nighthawk Scavenger last game, too, which was also a one of. Good draw. Not amazing, though. Wow. Raven Enfeeblement. Ah.
Let your blade do the
Ah. We're probably out of the tournament already. Couldn't draw lands. We lost to tokens in 2 of these games. If we lose this. I don't think we have a good way to win. We needed this to be a land. Right, so we can go like Graveyard Trespasser plus Vanishing Verse. Maybe I should have just gone for the Environmental Sciences and left the Edgar there. The Raven Enfeeblement was the real kicker, not being able to exile this 3/3 Vigilance. Because like if they didn't have it, this would have died, and they would only have 5 power on board. Soul Shatter. That's the one of Soul Shatter. Of course it is. I should have just played a better deck, I think. I don't know. Maybe I should have just played Esper Walkers. Maybe I should have gone for that. The Environmental Sciences play. I would have got to draw off the Cosmos Elixir. Would have hit my land drop. There's no way of me knowing that I don't draw a land for the rest of the game, though. And playing a 4-drop every turn is not good enough against a Wandering Emperor, plus, like, their whole hand. God, you'd think I'd be better at this game after playing it every day. You'd think, right? Like, I top 8'd with this deck on the last Open. And then I just 1/2 drop in this one. All right, I'm gonna make this for YouTube, so I'm gonna make an intro and sound more excited, and then we're also going to make an outro. Like, turns out if you have Wandering Emperor, Sorin, and 5 removal spells, you tend to win the game. Variants, I'm awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. Happy to have you as part of Jamestown community. I wish I could keep playing. I wish I could keep playing in the tournament, I mean. Planeswalkers will always be a mistake. I remember getting 16th with Jessica Creativity and Historic, and then the next one getting 124th, so it happens. Yeah, I know it happens. It just sucks to happen back-to-back days, you know? Like yesterday, I play in the qualifier tournament, whatever it's called, qualifier weekend, and I, like, go 4-3. And then this one, which, like, should be easier, right? Because all the players aren't, like, maybe all the players aren't top 1200 Mythic, whereas in the other one they are, and I do it even worse than this one. And like I played against Anvil in Standard, and that's why I put the Abrades in, and the Cosmos Elixir. But Anvil, I didn't play against that today. Old man shouts at clouds, "Oh, Planeswalkers! It's a stain to the Magic the Gathering community. You should have never printed those abominations." All right, I'm gonna make the intro and an outro, and then we'll go ahead and raid MTG Nerd Girl. What's up, Jamers? It's the One Jame, and we're playing in the DEGEN Open. In Standard, today we're playing the deck that we top 8'd with on the last one. If you want to check out that YouTube video, we have it on this channel as well. So we're going to try to make it into the top 8 again today. If we get first place, we get catapulted into the Mythic Championship, or whatever they're going to call it now. The Pro Tour? We actually get into the Pro Tour if we get first place. So, got top 8 last time, trying to get first place this time with MARDU midrange. It's going to be a Fable the Mirrorbreaker deck when we're going to try to use Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to copy things like Professor of Symbology, Acquisitions Expert, Brutal Cathar, Elite Spellbinder, Skyclave Apparition, Legion Angel. Maybe make a couple 2-3 life linkers with haste and try to win the game that way. This is really good against aggro decks. Very, very good against mono white, things like that. We have 3 Bloodchief's Thirsts, a bunch of removal spells here, and we're going to try to win some games. In our sideboard, since this is best of 3, we have our Learn package here, and we have Legion Angel, and we have sideboard cards. So check out this sideboard. We have Environmental Sciences, Reduced to Memory, Pest Summoning, and Mascot Exhibition for our Learn package. And then for our Legion Angels, we have 2 Legion Angels in the sideboard here, these 2 here. And then for the actual sideboard cards, we have 2 Duress, 1 Abrade for the Anvil matchup, and just it's a generally good removal spell. 2 Graveyard Trespassers for control decks. We have Cosmos Elixir here for the Anvil matchup. And then 3 more Meathook Massacres for the Anvil matchup and other aggressive decks. I'm teching for the Anvil matchup here, because I think that's like a pretty bad matchup for this. We should have a good matchup against other things, Elite Spellbinder, things like that. Why do I keep getting announcements from TG Melee? Anyways, it's time to start, and it all starts right now. Alright, so let's make the outro now. See, while making the intro, I can just like forget the fact that I didn't do well. Did it sound believable? Was I excited about the tournament starting? Let me know if that sounded believable. Very excited, very believable. Much pog. Very PogChamp. Alright, good. Good. We got there. Alright. Outro. Now I gotta flip the switch and sound sad. Alright, Jamers. That's the second tournament in a row that we didn't do very well. But it's okay. We'll continue to play the ladder and play more decks for you every single day. I really hope you liked this. We had a really insane match. I'm glad you watched it if you got this far. I'm glad you watched that match for the game. Well, first of all, that match that were like super mana screwed on red. Insane. Second of all, the time where we killed our last opponent in game 1, the Esper Walker's opponent, by like discarding, drawing, draw a land, didn't draw a land, played the second one, discard from hand, draw a land, drew the land, meat hook for 1 for exact game. Those games just make me so happy, but I just wish I would have done better in this one. I made the top 8 in the last one, but I don't know. If you're here, you're one of the 5% that made it this far. Let me know down in the comments if you are one of the 5%. You're a real jamer. You're awesome. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, peace. All right. Very pog, very excited. All right, let's go ahead and go over to MTG Nerd Girl and watch the DEGEN Open while I make a YouTube video out of this and potentially go to Cool Stuff Games and get some cards for Commander decks or play some Yu-Gi-Oh! Have a good rest of your day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Let's see what's on our schedule. Our schedule, tomorrow I'm hanging out with my fiance. The day after that, if you want to catch me playing Commander at night, I'm going to be playing CEDH with Bear Claymore, potentially on his Twitch channel. And then there's Tinkerer's Cube on Friday, so we might play some Tinkerer's Cube because I like Tinkerer's Cube. A lot of good synergies. It's Jaffer's 2-year subathon on Saturday, so we'll be on his stream on Saturday as well. And the historic Arena Open is Saturday as well. So that's what's going on this week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone.